It's officially Chiefs Week. What's going on? This is Coach Marcus for Pro Fan Talk, and it is officially Chiefs Week. We are off of the bye. Got a chance to watch some good games this weekend. Saw some good things, saw some bad things, and saw some teams that we are definitely going to have to see in the future. And it looks like everybody's kind of hitting their altitude and getting to a place where they are consistent. Dallas did what they did to the Giants. The Giants ought to be embarrassed. Even as good as the Cowboys are, New York, you got to put up a better fight than that. And when you start getting contentious on the sidelines because of what's going on the field after your week of preparation, that's not a good look. So as good as a coach as Dayball is, he's got to get those guys together. But it is very, very difficult to get a group of men together when you get your ass kicked every week. So he's got a road to hoe. I'm not sure it would have been much better if Daniel Jones was still there. It would have been better. But now that the DeVito is the man, you got to step up. And what I saw yesterday was them, at least from my opinion and from my perspective, New York closing the playbook on DeVito because maybe he just doesn't know enough. But some of those opportunities they had yesterday, and it wasn't many, you got to go for it. You got to throw the ball in the end zone. The New York Giants defense put them in great position, I believe 2 or 3 times, and they couldn't do anything with it. They're running the ball, and they're inside the 10-yard line. Take your chances. Throw the ball in the end zone. If it's a pick, it's a pick. But I don't understand what these teams are doing with these young quarterbacks. Like they think you can just add water and have instant quarterback. I don't care if you're a starter, backup. If you are a young quarterback and you get your opportunity, you must take your lumps. You have to. That's part of the game. And I don't understand what these teams do by limiting the opportunities that these guys have. I know they can't open the playbook fully, but what New York was doing yesterday was just god-awful. Like they had zero confidence in this DeVito kid. So you get what you get. I don't really see what are you going to see if I'm studying Dallas? What am I going to pull from that game? Not much. CeeDee Lamb beasted. Dak beasted. The defense did what the defense does. But they were playing against a team that some people were joking that they couldn't beat the SEC champs. So it is what it is. The one thing I'll give credit to Dallas for is they dominate the teams they're supposed to dominate. Now, given the Eagles, they probably would have took us into the fourth quarter and it'd have been a shootout because we seem to have that type of effect on bad teams. The Jets, the Commanders. So we'll see what happens against the Giants. But we can't worry about that now. Our problem is Kansas City. Obviously, they're hyping this up. Monday night game, revenge game, Super Bowl rematch, all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's not as important, but still, you get a good gauge of where you are as a team. We match up well with Kansas City, just like we did last year. The problem is going to be for us, how healthy is Jalen Hurts? How together is our secondary? And how much better can our coaches be against Kansas City? Andy Reid and them boys. Because I said it last year after the Super Bowl, and I can say it again right now. We lost that game last year because we got outcoached. We lost the chess match. Andy Reid is no dummy, and we've got to be better on the chessboard than we were last year in the Super Bowl. And some of the things that I've seen so far this year, it's questionable. We've had good days, bad days. Stock's been up and the stock's been down. So we have got to get to a point where we are consistent. We're not done with the rise because we haven't been consistent. Hopefully we can get some consistency in our defensive secondary. Hopefully we get some better play from our linebackers. Not run defense. Run defense has been stellar. Moreau and Cunningham have been awesome. Pass defense, watching the tape last week, Zach Cunningham is a liability in pass defense. He was whiffing on receivers. Not that I expect him to be able to hold or cover a wide receiver, but sometimes when you get in those sets, and this is what I mean when I say we're losing the chess match. If an offense gets in a certain set, and before you know it, based on our defensive package, you get Nick Moreau, Nakobe Dean, or Zach Cunningham covering a wide receiver in the slot. That's the matchup you want as an offense. Because a linebacker can't cover. So what does a linebacker? Only thing a linebacker can do is get hands on that receiver in the zone where you can still bump him. He's not going to cover. I don't care how fast you are as a linebacker. You cannot cover a receiver. Even if you can run with him, you don't have the hips to do that. And in this situation, there was a lot of plays where Zach Cunningham just tried to get his hands and the receiver just put a move on him and left him in the dust. He whiffed. Luckily for us, Dak Prescott didn't see it. I believe it was one time with Ferguson, the tight end, and it was another time, I believe, maybe it was CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Cooks. I can't remember which one. But he was on a wide receiver one time. He was on a tight end the other time. And both times, they just shook him. And he tried to get hands on him to kind of throw him off the route and mess up the timing. And literally, he just whiffed. And you can't have that. You cannot have that. So we got to get better in that regard. We have to be smarter in the packages we call so we don't get into those matchups where it is not favorable for us. That's the chess match we have to win, especially when you're dealing with Andy Reid. Now, Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs, they got their own issues. Offense is not hitting on all cylinders. They got stuff to deal with. Travis is traveling to Argentina. I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with it, but it is what it is. So, but the point is they have issues too. So nobody is exempt from crap going on the team. They got some stuff they have to clean up, and so do we. So hopefully we will see by, Wednesday, because it's a long week because we're on Monday night. We will see by Wednesday what Jalen Hurts is looking like. I'm sure there'll be a lot of reports on what he looks like, how he's moving, knee brace on or off, all of that kind of stuff. But for me, the most important thing that we need to worry about this week is what does our secondary look like? What is the game plan going forward? Because we still have to stop the most dangerous quarterback in football. That's Patrick Mahomes. So we got some work to do this week. Let's get to it. Go Birds.